I almost missed my flight out of Mersin on Turkey's Mediterranean coast. They were calling final boarding when my phone rang. A thin, frightened voice said,
"He's gone. Your friend. They think he walked into the sea."
I landed in a small town on Bulgaria's Black Sea coast. Wind off the water, salt in the air. Streets that end at concrete steps disappearing into waves. I'm the same blogger from the elevator story. Same camera, same bad habit of following the wrong kind of mystery. People here had been vanishing for months. Not tourists, locals, a baker, a school secretary, a kid who walked 3 dogs on the pier every evening. Always near water, harbor ladders, rain drains, public fountains, or at home, with floors that stayed dry but felt like something wet had stood there and waited. The police talked about currents, fog, alcohol. Night workers talked about sea maidens. I didn't want folklore. I wanted a pattern. I found one, and it led straight to my friend. Every missing person brushed his life somehow. An old classmate, a neighbor, the tech who fixed his phone. I drew it in my notebook, his name in the center, lines out to the vanished. It looked like a wheel, and he was the hub. The concierge tried to stop me at the elevator.
"The water follows him,"
he said, holding the doors.
"If you go up, it may follow you too."
When he let me up, I understood his fear. Bundles of dried mugwort hung from door handles and lay in dishes along the floor. The shower was taped shut. On the desk, a page of names. Mine was there, half erased. Under the list, in shaky handwriting, "She listens through pipes." I replayed an interview from that afternoon. There were 2 voices, mine and the woman I spoke to, and under both, a faint pressure noise, like holding a shell to your ear. Not words, but close. The first break came as a voice note from a woman who had been in my friend's class.
"There was a girl,
She said,
beautiful, bright, everyone's favorite. One summer, she drowned.
the class couldn't stand the pain. They made a choice that felt kind at the time. Erase her. No name, no photos, no stories. Speak nothing, remember nothing, pretend she had never lived. Years passed, even her name faded. At graduation, the first person disappeared. After that, every year on the same date, someone tied to that class died in strange ways. Falls, sudden fevers, a car that rolled on a flat, a man found on dry steps. Different deaths, same signature, seawater in their lungs.
"There's an old belief here.
The concierge said carefully.
A sea maiden keeps her power as long as no one speaks her true name. Say the right name and she weakens. Say the wrong one and she marks you. She learns your voice. She comes."
People had tried. They whispered guesses into drains, down manholes, out toward the black horizon. The ones who guessed wrong found wet prints on their mirrors and a steady, patient counting in the plumbing at night. My friend learned all of this too late. He taped his taps, slept inside mugwort rings, and he did something else, awful but legal. Here is how he set others up in his place. He believed the sea maiden marks anyone who speaks the wrong name into moving water. So he steered meetings near the water. Coffee by a fountain where the spray drowned out street noise. Walks along sluices after rain. Quick chats on harbor steps where the swell boomed under concrete. He would play the forgetful friend.
What was her name again?
He never spoke the guesses himself. He kept his mouth shut and let their voices go out over the water. It was a ritual, hidden inside small talk. A breadcrumb trail of other people's names, pushed toward the pipes. I needed the real name. The yearbook page was covered with blank paper. School records called her withdrawn. Social media had nothing. I went to the classroom where they'd all sat together. Harsh lights, a chalk smell that never leaves. On the underside of a back row desk, where a student might hide her hands, I found half a name scratched into the wood. 2 letters, enough to say that a name had once lived there. The janitor spoke after a while.
"The kids begged us to sand the desks,"
He said.
"They said they couldn't bear to see anything. Sometimes a letter remains."
He ran his palm along the wood, as if to calm it. In a storage cabinet behind peeled posters, I found an old seating chart, alphabetical, sun-faded, pressed flat under cracked glass. Most lines were crossed out or overwritten, but the imprint remained. When I mapped the chart to the room, the scratched desk matched a single empty line. The surname had been scraped away, yet the pressure marks showed the curve and length of the first name. Combined with the 2 letters under the desk and the date of the drowning, the full name clicked into place like a puzzle piece, finally turning the right way. No classmate remembered it. The paper did. There's a spit of black rocks that pushes the tide back just enough to make a quiet pocket. I went there at dusk. I poured a thin circle of crushed mugwort and stood inside it. I set up my camera and, don't ask me why, didn't hit record. The water flattened, as if pressed by a hand. The horizon loosened. She rose slowly like someone standing up under a heavy sheet. Do not imagine a pretty girl with a comb. Think of a body thinned by the sea, joints bending too far, fingers that find seams, skin the color of old porcelain. Weed hung over her like a torn veil. A cloudy plastic ring, child's toy, swung from a thread against her throat. She didn't look at me. She listened to pipes waking all over town, to bathwater settling, to 1,000 small waters turning in their bowls. I said her name once. The air went thin. The shape in front of me pulled back, reluctant, the way a door resists before it closes. No scream, no splash, just an ending, like someone finished exhaling. That year, on the date everyone feared, no one died. For a while, the town relaxed. The janitor put the desk back. The concierge stopped tucking mugwort sprigs into her pocket on rounds. I flew home. I slept through the night. But endings don't always hold. The pipes in my apartment began to tick at new hours. The drain pushed up a single thread of weed that looked too much like hair. In my audio edits, the white noise bunched into a slow breath. Inside that breath, I heard the first half of her name, the safer half. My neighbor's hallway showed wet footprints from a faucet that was already closed. You'll ask why I'm telling you this, if speaking her name brought her attention to me. Because the first mistake was erasing her. The second was speaking the wrong names in the dark and pretending it was brave. If you live by water and you must speak, speak true. If you cannot, say nothing. She still listens where the house hides its veins. Some nights I wake because the building is breathing. Not a song, not a sob. A patient voice moving through the pipes, counting, keeping order.
And when it counts, it sounds like there is a list, and I am on it again.
In the shadows I will tread, whiskers haunt me, filled with dread of the maiden lost in time. Her dark waters, the perfect crime, names forgotten, secrets flow. In the silence, fear will grow. Push her name into the tide. Let the truth come wash inside. Tracking tales of ghostly doom. In this town the whispers loom. My old friend, he holds the key to the curse that plagues the sea. Names forgotten, secrets flow. In the silence, fear will grow. Push a name into the tide. Let the truth come wash inside. Scratched as reveal the past. Faded shards where shadows cast. A drowned girl's identity rises back to haunt me. Hate's forgotten, secrets flow. In the silence, fear will grow. Push her name into the tide. Let the truth come wash inside.